सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम राधा कुंज की गोवर्धन की जय। So let us give ourselves a round of applause. Time and energy. What else do we have? Huh? We have time and energy. We have to use that for Krishna. We're just spending time now, but we're spending it for Krishna. Gaudiyatara are actually looking at us now. Acharyas are there looking at us. And we're looking at them. We're also looking at each other. And we're thanking the holy names. This is the process. That's why I keep saying, Bolo, Bolo, Bolo. We're not musicians. And that's a fact. We're not musicians. We're trying to be bhaktas. Srila Prabhupada, his name, right? A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, right? Bhakti Vedanta, the end of all knowledge, is bhakti. It means loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing else. So if Krishna gives us different skills, abilities, then we take them and use them for Him. The main thing is that we're wanting to develop bhakti. And the best way to develop bhakti is to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Thank you everybody for being so enthusiastic and ecstatic. We're downstairs preparing a feast for the lordships, Shri Gaudiyatara, on the auspicious day of this Janmastami. And we can hear everybody chanting and dancing so nicely. It's so encouraging, you can almost feel the bhakti in the air. So, I was asked to say a few words in transition. Pretty soon, we'll be getting ready to do the Abhishek, which will be very nice, and there'll be kirtan the whole way through, and leading up to Arati at midnight. And then that's followed by Prasada, Prasada ki Jai. Who here is fasting today? Jai, Hare Krishna. So Janmashtami, like Ananda was saying, it's a big day for a big festival. But every day actually can be a festival, just like this. But now, we're fasting, we're doing extra services, we're going to the temple to stay there longer. There's so many inconveniences. We're tired, our mind wanders away, I want to go home, I want to go sleep, I want to eat. These things limit us in this world, but as we are watching the play with Krishna and his little cowherd boyfriends, they're fully Satchidananda, the eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. So they don't have the shortcomings of this material body. So they can always engage in Krishna's service. Therefore, every step is a dance, and every word is a song. Every word is a song. You know, who here can think of a time that they were really happy by some good news, or they were just feeling in a really good mood? You almost kind of strut in a certain way and want to do a little dance, or just naturally sing. This is the nature of our soul. We want to be blissful. We want to feel this all the time. So, the holy name in this, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This Maha Mantra is so nice. No different than Krishna. Absolutely no different than Krishna. So, just like on Janmashtami, we're trying to hear about Krishna, absorb ourselves in Krishna, go to the temple to see Krishna, see the devotees of Krishna, all these things that help us remind ourselves of Krishna. Because when we're fully remembering Krishna, all of our problems cease to exist, or at least the problems that we have, they become very small. So, a lot of people that I see here are coming from Indian nationality or somewhere in that vicinity. Very fortunate to grow up hearing about Krishna and hearing of all this. For a lot of us Westerners, we've never heard of Krishna only a few years ago. But by chanting this, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can feel the ecstasy. You can taste it. You know, a lot of people doubt whether God exists or whether He doesn't exist. Whether Krishna's God, whether Shiva's God. So many different questions, so many doubts on our mind. But when we chant this mantra, you can have a direct experience, a direct connection with Krishna. And the more that you chant it, the more that you want to chant. And then that rewards you more and more chanting. So we're following this. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, here at this temple, we worship Sri Sri Gauranatai, who are dressed so beautifully on this wonderful occasion. Just how the Maha Mantra, this Hare Krishna mantra, is not different from Krishna. Lord Chaitanya, who is standing here on the right, non-different from Krishna. He's Krishna coming to incarnate, to play the part of a devotee, so he can actually taste the nectar that is within the devotional service to himself. Because Krishna, when he's playing his pastimes in Vrindavan, Krishna's very opulent, he's very mystical. There's certain mellows, certain feelings he wants to experience, but he's not able to, because certain dynamics with his relationship. So he comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to usher in this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And just by chanting this mantra, we can become free from samsara, a cycle of birth and death. So many times we've lived before. So many times we'll live again. But we're attached to right now, this time, this place, this circumstance. I am this person, this is my family, this is my country, this is my way of thinking, and I have all these activities and actions that bind me in the world. Who likes to be free and happy? That's it? At nature, we're already free and happy all the time. But we're forgetful of the fact that we're eternal, that we're servants of Krishna. So we're looking for happiness and safety and security within all of the things surrounding us that we can contact with our senses. So therefore, I want a nice house so I can protect my family. I want a nice car so I can get to work, so I can get money to feed my family. These things are good, they're nice, they're a requirement because we have a certain dharma to fulfill. But what is most important is that we remember Sanatana Dharma, our eternal Dharma. Because whether right now I'm in the body of a male, a female, whether I'm born in America, in India, in England, or Antarctica for that matter, we're still servants of God. Because Krishna is the whole, everything comes from Him. We are part and parcels of Krishna. So when we turn away from Krishna trying to enjoy, things become difficult. So we saw this in this pastime where the Brahmanas, they had the opportunity to serve Krishna. Krishna sends his gopas coming to ask for food and charity. And they turn him down. What we're doing is the best. We're going to chant these mantras, we're going to do this sacrifice and this worship. Because this is how we've been trained to do. This is the way to act. But their wives, just being pure in heart, just having affection and attraction for Krishna, as soon as they heard the name Krishna, they went running up the opportunity. It didn't matter what their friends, their family, what everybody said. They tried to hold them back, but they went running too. So similarly, we all have so many things affecting us. Oh, I'd like to know God, I'd like to know more of Krishna. How can I understand Him more? How can I serve Him better? But I have to do this, Krishna, I have to work, I have to deal with my family, I have to do so many things. We can follow the example of these wives of the Brahmanas, because they rejected all of this just to actually jump at the opportunity to serve Krishna. So service to Krishna is a beautiful thing, and we might want to do that. But how do we actually do that? This is the ultimate question. Does anybody have an idea? We chant Hare Krishna, nice. But who tells us to chant Hare Krishna? Guru. So, without Srila Prabhupada, this temple wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be temples within America or all around the country worshipping Krishna, allowing a place for us all to gather, no matter your nationality, background, your belief, anything. Because we realize we're not this body, we're spiritual beings within the body. And we're all struggling with life. And it is hard. Just like right now, we're sitting here, it's getting late. Our back might be hurting from sitting. Our knees are hurt from walking or doing so much all day. So many things affect us at any given moment. And that will always be there. But when we're acting for things materially, forgetting Krishna, there's no value to it. Because it's temporary. It's just temporary. But any service that we render to Krishna, any charity that we give to Krishna, any thought that we have that helps us to connect to Krishna, Krishna becomes very pleased. And Krishna gives us His mercy. So what does Krishna's mercy look like actually? It's a good question, huh?
We have mercy right now.
That is true.
We are here.
Krishna's mercy comes in many forms. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to be here doing this now. But some people think Krishna's mercy, God's mercy, means I'll be very wealthy. I'll have very much money, so I won't have to worry about all the problems I face. I'll be very beautiful. I'll be nice and thin, so I look good when I'm going out in the world and people respect me. But it's said that if Krishna is actually merciful to us, He'll take away the impediments that are restricting us from actually fully giving ourselves to Krishna. Just like these Brahmanas' wives, they were being held back by their husbands. So many social restrictions. Females in Vedic culture normally just don't go running out of the house and doing whatever they want. There's proper etiquette to follow. But they rejected all of this, just to serve Krishna. This is Krishna's mercy actually, that He takes away all these impediments and allows us to connect to Him. So Lord Chaitanya came and gave us a process that we can actually ascertain that readily, rapidly, right now. It just depends whether we want it. Because Krishna's mercy is here all the time. Like you said, Krishna's mercy is here. But do we want Krishna's mercy? That's the question we have to ask.
Yes.
Do we want Krishna's mercy?
Yes.
Do we want Krishna's mercy?
Yes.
Jai, Hari Bol. This is why the best way to get Krishna's mercy is to associate with and serve the Vaishnavas, the devotees of Krishna. Because from their enthusiasm, it can rub off on us. By seeing their enthusiastic service, even though they're doing the same thing every day, they're waking up early in the morning, they're overcoming all these struggles just to try to connect to Krishna, then we can get a taste also. Otherwise, we might come to the temple, and we might come and bow down and then greet the deities, and then we leave the temple. But Krishna is not just within the deities, Krishna is everywhere. But in particular, in His holy name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He taught 8 famous verses that He wrote down at least. He taught more, but this is what He wrote down, so it's very significant. In this 3rd verse that He gives, it says, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarodapi Sahishnana Amanana Manadena Kirtanaya Sarahari. Does anybody know the translation? What this means is that we should be more humble than the grass in the street. We should be more tolerant than a tree. We should be ready to offer respect to all other living entities that we encounter. In this way, Kirtanya Sadahani. We can always chant the holy name. So, when we take the chanting of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, can anybody tell me what the result is? Ecstasy. That's there. If we're chanting purely, what else?
Krishna's mercy.
Krishna's mercy. That's there also. But what else? Relationship with Krishna. That's awesome. What I'm thinking of is the result of chanting Hare Krishna is more chanting Hare Krishna. The result of service is more service. It's not that we come for one day and we do service and then I go on my way and I live my life and I pray to the God. No. If we're actually developing loving devotional service to Krishna, we develop causeless transcendental knowledge. So who here has read the Bhagavad Gita? Who here fully understands the Bhagavad Gita? That's good. Because the Bhagavad Gita can always learn more and more and more. But if we take to pure devotional service, all of the purports, the essence of the Bhagavad Gita will be revealed within our heart. Therefore, you lose attachment in attraction towards the temporary things in our life. Being here in America, just driving down the road, and watching a TV, a movie, just going around and hearing people talking. So much nonsense we see all the time. So much nonsense. But because we see it all the time, it becomes more regular, and we think it's more normalized. Then, okay, it's not actually so bad. But when we're rendering devotional service to Krishna, and Krishna's mercy is descending upon us in this detachment of our material problems and this transcendental knowledge, it becomes clear. There's only one thing worth doing in life. If God is there, Krishna, the Supreme Person, who's all-knowing, all-powerful, He's the creator of everything, and He's saying that this world that we're in is temporary. This body, this identity, who you think you are, temporary. Then we should fully give ourselves to that person, because we're nothing without Him. Everything that we eat comes from this person. Everything that we see comes from this person. All of our relationships, our loved ones, our spouses, our kids, our friends, everybody. It's only Krishna's mercy upon us, arranging a certain situation. But when we become forgetful of Krishna, this becomes bondage to this cycle of samsara. So then we're going from one body to the next, to the next, to the next. But Krishna's pastimes are so wonderful. We read from the Srimad Bhagavatam daily here in the temple, and the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam is describing all the activities of Krishna. So who here can say that they know Krishna? Who knows of Krishna? Okay, nice. To know Krishna is something special. I could meet people at the temple, I see a lot of their faces, and meet with them and greet with them a little bit every week. But how much do I actually know them? We all have fears and insecurities and things that bring us satisfaction, and little things that kind of put us on edge, drive us crazy. But we can hear Krishna, and it still seems so far. We hear all those pastimes. We know all the pastimes. Krishna, He lifted Govardhan Hill. For how many days? 7 days. Jai. Krishna, He killed many demons. The first one I'm thinking of, it's this big snake demon. Can anybody tell me his name? Aghasura. Kali is there, but I'm thinking of Aghasura, big snake, trying to swallow Krishna and all of his little friends. Krishna, He left to Mathura. What did He do when He entered Mathura? What did He do? He killed Kamsa. He killed an evil elephant that was trained to kill him. He gave mercy to Kuja and straightened out her back and made her look all beautiful. He killed the cloth vendor because he asked for cloth and the cloth vendor said, no, these cloths are for the king of Kamsa. Then he went to the wrestling arena. He fought with Chanura and Mushtika. He killed Kamsa in front of everybody. And something significant about this was when Krishna came to this arena to kill Kamsa, everybody saw Krishna in a different way. All the Gopas, Krishna's friends, they saw Krishna in one way. The parents, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, they saw Krishna in another way. Everybody. But to Kamsa, Krishna was deaf. So, if we're engrossed in material life, forgetting Krishna, absorbed in all the day-to-day activities, then God is ultimately death. That's the highest thing. That's what I'm afraid of. That's there. But if we can learn to love Krishna, why would you fear death? Because what happens after death? What happens after death? You get another body. So we hear this. Shri Gauratai Ki Jai. We hear this, that samsara, reincarnation. When I die, I take another body. But do we actually realize that? Because if we realize that, why would we fear death? But we're always anxious about this. Everybody in the material world. And we can look at little animals, little birds that go on the floor, pick up some little grain. They're always looking over their shoulder in fear. So we have all these nice buildings, these nice cars, all this nice technology, and we think we're more advanced, but ultimately, we're still afraid of death. But if we put our love and attention to Krishna, Krishna promises no reason to worry about any of these things. But we can hear this for many lifetimes and still not actually understand it. So like I mentioned, we don't know Krishna, we know of Krishna, but there is somebody who does know Krishna. Guru, Srila Prabhupada. He's giving us a process to actually approach Krishna how he is, how Krishna likes, and how we can actually learn to know Krishna. And how can we actually judge this? We can see people who come to the temple and take to the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And immediately, they give up so many bad habits. They give up eating meat. They give up all sorts of intoxication. They give up viewing women like objects of sex. They give up gambling and living life speculative. They follow according to the scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And they become knowledgeable, they become peaceful, they become purposeful, balanced. All these good traits that we want. All these traits are godly traits and they're given to us by Krishna. So when we are actually following the process, we develop all these traits. So everything you can imagine that you're actually looking for in life lies in one place and one place only. It's at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. But how to attain the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna? The lotus feet of